This is in response to Billy's Talking Points memo from Thursday, April 2nd, 2015, the war on Christianity getting worse. And of course, I'm just going to refer to it, the war on Christianity, domestic versus foreign. So Billy wants to bring up the fact that, Billy wants to equate a few things. One, he starts out by the horrific killings that happened in Kenya last week, and then previous ones that had happened in Pakistan and Libya, where Christians were slaughtered. And all these wars of religion, whether it's Christian against Muslim or Muslim against Muslim in terms of Shiite against Sunni, or Hindu against Muslim, all horrific, all terrible. As Rodney King would say, why can't we just all get along? I don't know. I can't hold that thought, that theory that my religion is so much better than someone else's, it's worth killing them for. But other people don't feel that way. Now, those things are very horrific, and they're very terrible, and we need to work with the government of Kenya, to work with Libya, to work with Pakistan, so that all people of all faiths will have their ability to practice their faith without fearing death. Now, Billy wants to equate that with what's going on in the United States, indicating that people of faith who may not like the way the abortion law is written or believe that they should not have to service same-sex couples is equivalent to what's going on overseas. And that is not necessarily the case, even remotely close to the case. But of course, Billy wants to conflate the two together. So what has really happened here in the United States? Basically, a little bit of war on words and some things that probably won't happen very often, whether or not someone has to serve someone. Now, it has been written in the law for a long time that when you open your business, you have to open your business to everybody. So that if you're a black person, you have to serve white people. If you're a white person, you have to serve black people. We could take that to every extent, and that includes people of faith, and that includes people who, should an atheist not serve Christian? That would be the same equivalent. But Billy seems to think that Christians are under attack because of that it's getting worse. And it's a war. And it's a war that he's going to make sure the Christians win. Now, he brings on some stuff from Bill Maher, who has what show does he have? It's on, not Netflix, it's on HBO. And I've watched just the clips of it. He's a marginal player, he's not a big player. He's making it sound like he's some guru. I would say God, but I can't say that. A guru, on the left, so to speak, or the anti-Catholics or the anti-religious or the atheists or whatever. He's just a marginal player. He's funny. He brings up some very poignant points about religion, and I think they should be well taken. I think anyone should be able to respect other people who do not believe in religion, and even making fun of some of the religions. And of course, that can get you killed in other countries. And of course, Billy wants to marginalize him, malign him for his attacks on Christians here in the United States, but it's nothing compared to what goes on in the rest of the world. And of course, Billy has a couple polls that basically indicate that people should have the right to deny service to a same-sex couple, and that the rights of religious people are being threatened by those God-hating liberals and secular progressives. But that was in reference to some polls. Now, I don't know if that was in line with a lot of other questions. I don't know if there was other things in the body of the polling that indicated other things. Billy always takes that one little snapshot. That might not necessarily be the case. But I go back to the Brown versus Ford education in terms of the school systems, which was in 1954. I do believe the Supreme Court voted 9-0 that there could not be separate but equal, because it was really separate but unequal. And it took a long time for the United States to integrate. Of course, now we're even more segregated. But the idea was that the Supreme Court pushed something because it was the right thing for all Americans, and it wasn't just the right thing for white Americans, because white Americans didn't want to integrate their school systems back in the 50s. That's when we got white flight and a lot of other things. But the Supreme Court did the right thing. They were affected. They made their vote based on what was right for all Americans. And of course, the Supreme Court, whoever's going to decide anything, should be based on what's right for everyone. So if you open your business, you need to be accommodating to everyone. And does that mean, and of course the other extreme on that, and I like to say, if back in the 80s someone had contracted the AIDS virus because of a tainted blood transfusion, or was working at a laboratory and a vial broke and cut them, and would that give a Christian a right to deny them a medication for them because they figured that they were heathens, because that only homosexuals are HIV positive. So there's a lot of bad things that can happen if you start to deny services based on your feelings, based on your religious convictions. And I don't think that should be in there at all. But Billy wants to equate the whole thing, that there is a war on Christians, especially here in the United States, which is nothing, again, compared to what's going on across the world. And, of course, he's got to bring on the bomb thrower, Newt Gingrich, to say something. And, of course, he brings on the woman from the pizza shop in Indiana. And, the left was making fun of her mostly because she sounded very stupid. And actually, a lot of the comments I thought were very had a lot of comedy to them and a lot of irony to them. I don't think that they were really bashing her as completely as Billy wants to say. But Billy wants to take, if something is about 1% true out of 100%, he wants to make it seem like it's 99% true. And the last Mass I went to was when a priest basically said that, not that their rights were being taken, but they were being persecuted here in the United States. And I'm going, what the F? I mean, you could say Mass every single day, you can preach every single day in any type of Christian. No one's doing this. No one's taking away your tax deductions. No one's taking away the fact you don't have to pay any taxes. You can bomb throw whatever you want. No one's doing anything to hurt anyone in religion in the United States. But it's the perception that matters in the right-wing world. The perception we're being persecuted.